told a story, child. All right, so I just wanted to jump into this driver's seat today, right quick, because the I want to jump into this driver's seat right quick because um I said this before, and I see I got to mention it again, and I don't want to have nobody thinking that I'm picking on them, but I really got to reiterate the perspective and narrative when you guys go to court, and when what you guys got to understand. Everybody thinks they're smarter than you, so all it is. Court is 100% pure grade A litigation. That's all it is. Who could outtalk who? It's just you one thing about me, I pay attention to every word you say. Everything that you say has a meaning. It's why you said it. If you are talking to me, it is your job to get me to execute your will. And this is why people that point guns at people have full cooperation at executing your will, as opposed to somebody that doesn't. So, when my case in point, when I say this, when you hear these women of color say, the white man told us to get our husbands out of our house and we fell for it. What threat was used? What did that, no, you did it on your own will. And knowing this, and knowing communication is all about breaking me down to exercise the shit that you want me to believe. I know that you're gonna lie to me, and intimidation is a big factor of that. Now, I'm gonna say this: it should be your pleasure to have somebody lie to you and try and manipulate you. I'm gonna give you an example as to what it is I'm talking about here today. I was in court one time, and I was talking, and the judge told me, "Well, hurry up." I said, "No, I won't hurry up. The Constitution don't state that I need to hurry up, so I'm going to take my time." He didn't say nothing. He injected an attempt at intimidation, and it didn't work. And another time, I got Atia LaShawn Bradley was so proud at trying to put a restraining order on me. Yeah, imagine. Imagine me saying all this and trying to sell you guys how it should be done. I did it and failed. Think about that. I'm telling you guys how to execute it as if I went to court and had my asshole handed to me. Now, I told you before, Kenneth Brooks, Monroe County Family Court. Go ask him. Go ask the prosecutor, Marianne. Go ask her. I don't remember her last name. Marianne or Mary Jo. Ask him. Who was the black guy that walked into court in the depths of Pennsylvania, a Commonwealth state, and said, "Take this document. You don't have jurisdiction over this case anymore," and walked out? They didn't say, "Are we done?" I went in there and delivered the knockout punch with confidence. And when you don't, if you do it any other way, it's like saying, "I hit the lottery for $1 million. Yay. Wow." No, there's going to be a lot of excitement to come with that. So when Atia LaShawn Bradley took me to court and I found out, I had them fax the information stuff to me. I was like, "No, I didn't know about this." My beef was never with the clerks. The clerks was when I put in for a child support issue and they said, "Well, hold on, you got a restraining order." because they want to put the fear of what they was trying to sell me first. And I went and put arrogance on full display. So I told the judge, hey, listen, when I come there, I'm not participating in this nonsense. I'm here for you to show me the evidence of why you gave this woman a restraining order. See you on Thursday. Right? This is what I did. I goes into court. The judge tries to ignore all that. He's like, what's going on, D Jizzle? I see you, Izzle. So when I go to court, the judge, I got to gain control over this nigger. This guy, Mr. Smith. This is how he was looking at me. Let's say the camera is me. This is what he was doing. Real shit. Mr. Smith, you are here today because of a restraining order. I'm here to tell you that if in fact this court deems you liable or guilty of this restraining order, it will affect your visitation. And I'm looking at him like, I get it. You thought when I sent you that letter, and it's the reason why they bounced me from 2 judges, because when I looked and seen the judge that I was talking to, I sent that judge a letter. So they sent me to another judge to say, well, you didn't send him the letter. You thought I was going to get there and be like, I don't know what to say because I sent the letter to the other judge, but they switched judges on me. Now I got to tell him how fucking bad I am. So when he said that, I said, so he was like, so before we get started, is there any evidence? And then he looked at me at the last word. So is there any evidence you want to submit to me? But before that, it was, you got to understand that if in fact we find you guilty of this restraining order, it will affect your visitation. So is there anything you want to send to me? Give to me every evidence you want to submit to me. I got wrinkle in the face. I said, no, I'm not here to participate in this. Attila Sean Bradley told you that I had Attila Sean Bradley told you that I had a silver 9mm handgun. I'll tell you what, I'll take a picture of anything with me having a silver 9mm handgun. I don't ever remember owning a silver 9mm handgun. So I'm confused as to how she got a restraining order with all this false evidence. Well, did you own a gun? Not here to answer that. Not here to answer that. She says I gave her a black eye. What's not here is my arrest report. So she's going to run to you and get a restraining order, but she's not going to, after I punch in the eye, not call the police. Where's my arrest report? I need to see this because I don't remember this happening. It says here, and finally, she submitted my address. Now, in this 50 states, each state has a 2-letter abbreviation for the state. Mine's in Pennsylvania is PA. This one says NJ for New Jersey, giving you jurisdiction. Could you explain to me where do I live in NJ? He couldn't answer that. He says, so, and now I want to be clear. The jury was at my 2 o'clock. The jury. I said, so could you explain to me where my address at NJ? So you're not going to submit any evidence. I'm assuming you're ready to proceed. I said, I am eager. He said, yeah, I can tell. I'm delivering fuck you when I go to court. I don't know any other way. When you hear me, you hear a 2-part process. Paperwork was delivered and fuck you came with it. You don't hear this grand master plan and I went in there. No. I came in there like, how fucking dare you bring a god in here to participate in this fuck shit. Hold on a second. Okay. So again, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna talk about the unfortunate perspective and narrative. Um, um, as I deal with you guys, I am growing and understanding perspectives and narratives as well. The problem with a lot of, I was just on the phone with a client in New York City, and his child's mom falsified police reports 3 years ago. And when we looked it up, Lydia looked it up, it thought it said that the statute of limitations was 6 years. So we looked it up, and it was Article 240-50, making a false police report with the police. So we sent information to the lieutenant, 10 Police Plaza. If you ever heard New York City, you hear this address. This was out of Queens, but we sent a copy to 10 Police Plaza. And we kind of was going back and forth. Anyway, we told them that we wanted to press charges. However, we go down there, and it comes to a female cop. And the female cop says, I'm not going to give you this because you're trying to retaliate. So I drafted them up a letter like, you fucking damn right we want to retaliate. And we said basically, when a woman does something, it's okay. But when a man wants justice behind it, it's retaliation. And we sent the police commissioner the code. No, this is not retaliation. So your female officer, you need to put a leash on that bitch. And I drafted up, like, we respond quick over here. And it was like, yeah, you don't get to tell us what's retaliation because a female said, I want to lie. So now we're still going. It's like, a lot of you guys don't understand. One action can take 10 motions in layers. It's just who's navigating the ship. Who's saying, I don't feel defeated. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If I had a million fights in family court, and I didn't, but if I can give you the understanding, if I had a million fights in family court, I was like 0 and 150. L's. I thought my fucking name was Ellis. I thought my name was Ellis. I was collecting. I was an L collector. But I love the growth, because there's the growth is where the dirt is, and more so than anything, it became a perspective and narrative of not the fight in the custody, but the helping the woman understand. And a lot of guys, This is just me. I get out of the business of making this about custody. And that's just how I am. My perspective and narrative, how much of a bitch was I that you think you can do this to me? And that's what I fight. That's what I fight. I'm not, listen, custody court, secondary. The fact is you thought, yeah, I can do this to Chris. I remember Atia Bradley and I was driving on, we was going up to the Poconos. I didn't live there at the time. And Atia had, a lot of women, they had the bow hanging on their rearview mirror. So I'm driving. Long trip. I'm driving. It was her car, but I'm driving. Cop pull us over. License, registration, insurance? Sure. What you pull me over for? You got the thing in there obstructing your view. Cool. I gave him my shit. Then he says to Atia, I need yours too. Atia grabs her purse. I grab her, I put my hand on her purse. No. Hey, listen, Slick, I'm driving. That's all you get. He was like, okay. He threw the registration back in the lap. I go, whoa, what the fuck you? I said, listen, Slick, I'm driving. That's all you get. I'm saying that to say, Tia seen me clash with the cops like 3 or 4 fucking times. I didn't lose either fucking time. She seen me sue the police. I won every time. So when she came after me, I'm like, when the cops asked you for your shit, you was about to give it to them. I was the one that told you, fuck that. That's all you get. So my authority had you putting your fucking purse down. His authority told you to give it to him, but you ultimately listened to me. Now you gonna fucking challenge me? Really? Is that what the fuck we doing here today? All right. I don't know who told you, but you're about to have a bad fucking day. Because I want to be clear about something. It might be tomorrow. It even may have been yesterday. But today ain't your day. That's how I fight. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm just not interested in losing. Like I said, I'm sitting here on a live stream in my house. And on my hip is my shit. You will never catch me slipping. It's not going to happen. All that I'm at the light, you roll up on me, not going to happen. Oh, we're going to just wait at this house in the bushes. Not going to happen. So, if you're not going to catch me slipping, what the fuck makes you think? What the donkey fuck makes you think? What makes you think you're going to send a letter to the court, file a motion in court, and invite me? You're going to invite me to court. Tell her what she's won, Bob. You won a lifetime of verbal ass kickings. Back to you, Chris. That's all you won. That's all you won. All you won. It's all you won. It's not happening. I am not interested in people fucking with me. Remember, you think this is oh, he ain't about that life? Go look at the old videos from 15, 16, and 17. All the fuck videos people made about me. And find my response videos. They should be out there. I responded with, bring your ass to Portsmouth, Virginia. You ain't leaving. You ain't leaving. You ain't leaving. I told my secretary, log all those videos and invited them. And then I didn't just invite them. I said, let's do a video. Let's do a video. Bring your ass, do a video. All of them. Every person you see that made a video about me, I invited them here after they said they're going to fuck me up. I don't do fuck you up videos. I don't do fuck you up videos. I don't incriminate myself. I'm going to show these street pieces of shit what happens when you run into intellect that was brought up on the streets. So when you go into family court, showing me that you don't have my best interest, showing me that you think you're going to do. Give me a second. Showing me that you think I'm going to come to family court and let you sauce my hole. Not happening. It's not happening. No. That ain't happening. That's not happening. Again, part of my existence in life that I said to myself, as a black man, I knew what I represented. I represented the worst in society. Even though I wasn't, I knew what I represented. So I made it my business to never, ever have and commit a felony. I made that my business. All of a sudden, I get there, meaning to family court, and they want to treat me like I'm a felon. They want to treat me like a criminal. My brain couldn't process this. So I got mad instantly. So it was no problem, especially when I'm mad, aka emotional. AKA emotional. Problem is, my emotional brings out a Hulk. My emotional don't bring out a crybaby. My emotional bring out the Hulk you seen in Endgame. That Hulk. The best of both worlds. I'm not losing. It's not happening. You know why I'm not losing? Because simply you thought you could fuck with me. And any perspective and narrative that you guys are running on, anytime a person got to run you to court to beat you, well, that's the ultimate bitch card. You couldn't do it on your own. You couldn't do it based on my actions. You had to fabricate something. Anytime a woman lied to you in court, I'm not understanding. This is the part of the video you need to share. Anytime, and I mean anytime, any person tell me she came to court and lied, I'm not understanding. Give me a second. I'm not understanding the bitch mode. That's bitch. That's bitch. I've heard it way before my time. She came to court and lied. No, she didn't come to court and lie. She came to court and lied, and you let her. Not letter as in letter, like mailing somebody a letter. You let her. Let me want to be clear. Well, why would he let her? Why would he let her? You let her. Okay, you let her. Not happening. Hey, listen. I'm going to tell y'all again, because y'all ain't listening. I love power talk. I like power talk. When Tony Stark went to Stark Tower, he landed on thing, and Jarvis told him, "Sir, the Mach 1 suit is not ready yet." Well, go on, get it going. Skip the spinning rims. And the machine was taking his suit off, and he looked at Loki with a little bit of doubt in his eye. And then he said, "Are you here to appeal to my something?" Tony Stark said, "No, I'm here to threaten you." Then Loki said, "You should have left your armor on for that." And then what did Tony Stark tell him? He slipped his bracelet on. You got the stick of death. You took us a little while to get some traction. I'll give you that. But you're pissing off everybody. I got your Chitauri. We got a Hulk. You don't understand. There's no version of this where you're going to win. The first time I heard that, I damn near cried. Because that was the statement that I should have had 20 years ago. There's no version of this where you're going to win. Not happening. You're not going to win. Ask my ex-wife. She thought she won when she reported me to my commander. Said I wasn't taking care of home. For you individuals that know military life, you will get court-martialed for that. Let your wife call your commander and say, "He left house today." And listen, in the military, your wife can call and say, "You didn't leave her the car." Your commander will say, "Get yours back home through the car," and you can get in trouble for that. The best way to tell what type of trick you got in the military, see just how much your wife thinks she got power over you, and you don't. Y'all can get into listen, for all those that been in the military know, y'all can get into an argument, and she can report you to your commander. she can report you. Yeah, that's how it goes in the military. Right? That's how it goes. And my ex-wife, a street chick from Chicago, thought she had the dibs on me. A street chick from Chicago said, I'm gonna get this Nork nigga. No, you ain't. Go find that piece of shit. How did that work out for her? We got a divorce. She ain't find out for 3 months later. And she signed the divorce papers. She signed the divorce papers because she's a fucking dummy. Give me a second. Now, I never said that about my ex-wife. You probably was listening. You never heard me say. You're probably saying, wow, now his ex-wife is a dummy. Well, I don't know if you was here. She actually follows me on TikTok. And last month, she answered to one of my postings when I said, independent women we have not, as men, seen them evolve in the last 30 years. Everything is my job, my job, my job. My ex-wife came up under the posting and said, I'm an independent woman. I got 3 daughters. My 3 daughters are this, my 3 daughters, I'm an independent woman, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, you really think you're going to go there with me? So I came up under it and said, an independent woman, I don't know how you think independent works well in marriage. I said, so I assure you, if I was an independent man, you would have divorced me as opposed to the other way around, me divorcing you. She ain't never say nothing. But what the fuck, right? Oh, dear mine. Again, there's no version of me losing. If you got to lie to box me, that's an offense. You cannot do that. You cannot file any paperwork in our court system. That's a lie. You cannot do that. All right. So when you go to court and you trying to explain this to a judge and that judge gets mad at you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you have a right to. That's not what I'm talking about. Judges, again, have no, and I mean, there's no law that says they can outslick you. I'm not going to talk in depth about it, but my client just went to court yesterday and we went over it, asked for an adjournment. The second he asked for an adjournment, she says no, and then went into some other stuff. How it should have went when he asked for an adjournment, she should have asked on what grounds. And then on what grounds? XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And then gave her ruling on the reason as to why. But saying no, I told my client that sent you into, that shrunk you when she said that. You was like, when she said no, it was kind of like, oh, right? But she said no first. They're not supposed to do that. You think they are. They're not supposed to do that. James Judge Triano did. So I'm going to give y'all a lateral understanding when this happened to me. I asked Judge James Triano a question. Now, understanding and knowing, now I have went to law school and I know all the tricks, and me going to law school and colliding with my intellect, every family court judge had a fucking problem. Judge James Triano was no different. Judge James Triano tried to tell me, because I asked for an adjournment, under the grounds that I got a letter from the head family court judge, Judge Sally Floriana, that says, yes, due process was broken because I threatened to go to federal court. Yes, Mr. Smith, due process was broken. I had the letter. Judge James Triano looked left, looked right. This is my courtroom. I said, well, hold on there, Slick. I don't know that to be the case. I know this courtroom to belong to the people. You just reside over it. He ain't say nothing because he knew my boot was getting warm at this point. And his asshole, no homo, was looking real good. Ooh, I love me, Judge asshole. Ooh, no homo, boot only, boot only. Woo! Right? So Then he said, okay, well, if I adjourn this today, I'm here to warn you. This is what he said. If I adjourn this here today, meaning you better say, let's go forward now. If I adjourn this here today, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to backdate this to when Atiya LaShawn Bradley put in for this increase. I said, therein lies your problem, Slick. I said, I don't know when she put this in. So how do you? How did she invite me to court and I didn't know? This is why I sent Judge Sally Floriano a letter saying that I didn't have a copy of the original motion. So how do you have it and I don't? So are you telling me you're going to put in for something that she didn't ask for? He started talking some other rambling on. I said, that's not what I asked you. He started talking again. I said, that's not what I asked you. You probably remember the story. Then the bailiff came up to me and said, be quiet and let the judge talk. I just said, that's not what I asked you. Y'all be thinking that y'all, oh, if I say something, I'm going to go to jail. That ain't how I think. That ain't how I think. Motherfucker, you're not doing me no favors. You will do as I ask. So he said, what's the question? Again, you know, you got to say again, motherfucker, because I'm not going to say nothing different. Again, are you telling me that she did not ask for this to be backdated to the day when she put it in? But are you telling me here today that you can go ahead and give her something that she did not ask for? I know this from law school. You cannot give them something that they didn't ask for. So when I said, are you telling me that you can give her something that she didn't ask for? This is real shit that I went through in family court. And the judge said, yes, I can. Now, no, he can't. But he said, yes, that was the lie. So how is he going to get himself out of this lie? He simply didn't give her the modification when we came back to court. So he didn't have to violate my constitutional rights. So he didn't give it to her. We went back after I sent him the ethics violation. Ms. Bradley, you did nothing to show cause for an increase. That was his way out. See, you guys don't understand that. They'll tell you in there, I'm going to put your child support at $1 million a day when we come back in this bitch. Oh, that's a nice threat, antics. I love judge antics. Y'all seem to believe that bullshit. You say something slick to me, give me a second. I'm back. My boot and the judge's asshole gonna be real good friends. Y'all don't seem to understand that. It makes sense when I tell y'all this. If it don't make sense, tell me where it doesn't make sense. Again, a judge cannot give you anything you ask for. Hence the term, let me give y'all an example. Let's just say I sue Atiya for $500. But when I'm in court, I notice I'm about to win. I'm going to change it to 1,000. So while I'm in court, I say, Your Honor, that's why I want $1,000. The judge going to look at my motion, pay attention, and say, you said in here you wanted 500. Yes. Okay, that's what you're getting. Why are you changing it to 1,000? That's what that's designed for. Make sense? So when I told Judge James Triano, he didn't know I knew that. He didn't know. His perspective was, I'm a threaten. I'm trying to tell y'all be fucking clucking when you go to court. Stop. If I didn't commit no crime, if I'm not in there, the defendant killed 5 people when he was drinking and driving. Oh shit, dog. Man, fuck, I sit down, man. Oh, I'm looking at triple dipple life. They triple dipple life in my ass. That's when you got my attention. That's when I go in there 100% pure bitch. Like, hey, I'm so sorry. Hey. Until then, no, I'm all man tapping my boot tip. I'm verbally putting boot tip in judge ass. Again, that's what it's designed for. So you can't think, I'm going to get me something on. That's why I told Judge James Triano, are you telling me you're going to give her something that she didn't ask for? Blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm asking you. Then he said, yeah, okay. Well, I want the adjournment. I should have said, well, I want the adjournment and I want to see this. But he gave me the adjournment and the way he bailed himself out again. Oh, Mrs. Bradley, you didn't do anything to prove that you should have an increase because I told him that I was going to backdate it and I ain't got the grounds to do that. So in order that my way out of this shit is to not give you the increase. So therefore I can't backdate it to, that's what that was about. Not going to court talking. We don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. You got me rocking now because you got me rocking. We don't do that over here. Again, my boot, verbal boot, not physical, verbal boot in your ass. All in your ass. Everything that I say, everything that I've done is ironclad. It worked for me. I had no problems, no pushback, no nothing. I'm going to end it with this. Remember I told y'all, I was in court for non-payment of child support. I filed an injunction in federal court, AKA a bankruptcy. The bankruptcy said, okay, we'll hear it here. Tell, what county is that? Monroe County. Tell Monroe County, we got it from here. We the feds. I just went to court, Next case, Smith versus Bradley. Your Honor, he did this. Your Honor, blah, 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 blah. When the prosecutor got done, I was here with it. That was excellent. They was looking at me like, what the fuck? Remember, I deliver my knockout punches with 100% pure arrogant sauce. When you bite into it, the arrogance is going to reopen your fucking mouth. So I start clapping. Popped my briefcase open, went to the bailiff, nudged it. Yeah. Your Honor, that right there is a bankruptcy motion filed in federal court. You no longer have jurisdiction over this case. Walked away. Walked through the prosecutor, both man and woman. Remember, the man rolled his chair back, walked through him, walked up the thing, walked past one officer, walked past another officer. I didn't hear, stop that man. I didn't release him yet. She didn't have jurisdiction. She can't say shit. But when you go in there and know what the fuck you're talking about and you deliver with no confidence, and all she could have said was, this is how she could have fucked me. Okay, you filed the bankruptcy. This is now in federal court, but do you still want to go forward here today? At least hear what I got to say? If I would have said, yeah, my asshole would have been done. See the fucking? You see the fucking? One last one. Remember I told you I was in federal court? I filed a motion with the court and the prosecutor was like, you filed this in court? And remember, in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, you stand up at the bench. You don't sit back. So the judge is right there. Right there. And I said, yeah, I filed that. He said, da, 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 da. I said, yeah. Then he said it again. You filed this. I said, I filed that to please the court, not you. Why you keep saying that, man? The judge was going to be like, okay, calm down. He had his eyes locked on me like, calm down. But what he was saying to himself was, this black nigger right here is not scared of the moment. That's what he was saying to himself. He was saying to himself, oh yeah, this nigger right here is not intimidated by nothing.